I came across a stack of books that I normally don't see in the wild very often. This stack of books are all fairly high grade. Find out what books they are and how much I paid. Stay tuned. Welcome guys to another episode of Comics with Bonix. Today we show you guys a small collection of books that I picked up. Even though there are not many books in this collection, they are all raw, they are all super high grade, and it's very rare nowadays to not find some of these books graded already because most collectors will try to preserve them or maximize value. So some of the books that you guys see here will not be in their raw form very often. So I got a call from a local collector that said that they were interested in selling these books. They said that they'd like me to take a look at them in person. So the seller said that these books are super high grade, which I hear that pretty often. Normally, I like to get pictures before I meet with them, but this seller was very adamant about having me take a look at them in person. So I set up the appointment, I met up with the seller, and he showed me these books, and obviously I had to have them. So let's go ahead and show you what books I picked up. The first book is a pretty cool Star Wars book. It is Star Wars number 42, and all of these are in fairly good condition. Like this one is about a 9.0. As you guys can see, not very many spine ticks. The corners are a little bit soft on some of the corners, like the top one there is a little bit soft. It's hard to tell, but yeah, you can see a couple tiny color breaking creases, but the other corners are pretty sharp. There's a little bit of a bend on this corner here, but overall I would say that this is a high grade 9.0, and this is the first comic book appearance of Boba Fett. So great book to have, great key, and that's the first one there. And the next one is a very popular book from the Copper Age. It is Amazing Spider-Man number 361. And this is a direct edition and first appearance of Carnage. And this is a pretty high grade as well. I would say that this one currently is about a 9.0 as well. You can see there are some color breaking creases on the spine. Hard to see because this one is a fairly white cover with some black, but this one I've noticed that a lot of copies have these tears right here. This was caused by the printing process where the machine would grab the bottom of this book here, causing the tears. There's one here, one here. So if you guys see that, it doesn't hurt the grade too bad because it is a manufacturer's defect. So overall, I would still give this a 9.0 even with those tears on the bottom. So pretty cool book, 361, Amazing Spider-Man. So far as you guys can tell, they're all around the Copper Age, and this is one of the most high demand keys of the Copper Age. It is Amazing Spider-Man number 252, and this one is a newsstand copy. And this is the first appearance of the black suit, and this overall would probably fall around a 8.5 in condition. It's an AF-15 homage cover swipe, so always a cool cover, always a cool book to see as part of any collection. If you guys are enjoying the video so far, go ahead and hit the like button, and if you guys are new here, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you guys can check out videos that I release. And most of these books will be available at my next show, which is Near Mint Sundays. That is going to happen in June. The day is Saturday, June 8th. And I will put the information of this show in the description area below. And if you guys are in the Southern California area, come on by and say hello. You guys will be able to dig through my boxes. A lot of great keys at great prices. So I hope to see you guys there. So the next book on this haul is XMen number 266. And this is the first full appearance of Gambit, another very high demand Copper Age book. And this is also in a high grade, probably like a 9.0 as it sits now. Could potentially be improved with a press, but this one has not been pressed yet. So as it sits, about a 9.0. Always a great cover from the 90s. This book is especially hot right now with the release of the XMen 97 series on Disney Plus. So another great book in the Copper Age. And the next book has always been one of the most nostalgic books from my childhood, because when I used to go into local comic book shops, there were always this copy on the wall. I couldn't afford it. This is Wolverine #1 as part of the miniseries. Iconic art by Frank Miller. And this one is definitely one of the higher grades that I've seen. And this one would probably fall in the 9.4 or higher range. There isn't any noticeable defects, like there are no color breaking creases at all that I see. All four corners are super sharp, and just all of the attributes of a very super high grade near mint plus. But definitely a nice book to have in super high grade. Most of the time you don't see these in raw form too often when they're super high grade like this, but it's very nice that this collector kept it in its raw form, and very nice book. And the next book I actually have 2 copies of. It is another high demand book in the Copper Age. It is Secret Wars #8, and we have 2 copies of this, both very comparable in grades. But you guys can see, just based on this video, that the colors are different on these 2 books. This one here seems to be more of an orange, where this one is more of like a closer to a red, but still very high grade copies. Same as the Wolverine 1. These would fall probably in the 9.4 plus range. So 2 copies of that, pretty nice as part of that haul. Nice to have 2 books and in ultra high grade. And the next book is the only Silver Age book in this haul. This is Amazing Spider-Man #46, the first appearance of Shocker. This one is in a nice mid-grade. This would be higher, except that in the interior there is a little bit of tanning, and I think that hurts the grade a little bit, but I would conservatively say that this is like a 5.5. So a pretty nice copy, and love these first appearance ASM books in mid-grade, because you can look through them and read them without feeling any anxiety. Sometimes that happens for me when I have Silver Age at super high grade. I'm always feeling like I'm reading through them and they won't be high grade anymore. That's just probably more paranoia than anything, but mid grade, no problem. So very nice first Shocker in about a 5.5. Nice book there. And if you guys thought so far those books were nice, wait till you guys see this last book. This has got to be one of the nicest raw books that I've seen in the wild, whether it be at a dealer or a Comic-Con. I haven't come across a copy this nice, and it's one of my favorite books, and it is a mega key of the Bronze Age. It is Giant Size X-Men #1. So let's just go ahead and take this in, because when I first saw this copy, I was like, that doesn't look real to me, because I normally see the colors a little bit faded on the reds and the white is not as bright. But this one, just by first look, the colors are absolutely stunning. And the white on this book, not the best I've seen, but it's pretty close. So let's just give you guys a quick look. I know for sure that this video will not give this book justice, but the corners are usually the problem areas for this book. So let's go ahead and try to give you guys an idea. So there's the corner there. There's that corner there. And let's take a look at the spine. So the spine on this book is the best I've ever seen on any giant size X-Men. especially one that is not graded. And there's the bottom. So that's probably the worst of all four corners. You can see it's kind of like a crunch, and there is a tiny reading crease towards the bottom. It's not torn or anything. It looks like it's a little crunch and it's a tiny reading crease. But that's the biggest defect of this book. There's that corner there. So this corner has a little bit of overhang, so it kind of hangs off the book a little bit. So it's a little soft, but other than that, it's absolutely beautiful copy. I'll also show you guys additional pictures because I feel like it deserves a little bit more show off on this book, because as you guys can see in the pictures I'm about to provide, the spine is one of the best I've seen. The wrap on this book is also one of the best I've seen. You can normally the top authorities code, the approved by comics code authority, usually sometimes the cut is a little bit close to that, but this one you can see the full stamp, and also Wolverine's claws are fully showing as well. So the centering, the wrap, the cut is one of the best. The colors and the white on the cover, all of these things together, I was mind blown when I saw this in person, and I'm still, every time I look at it, it's still unbelievable that this book has not been graded. But when I met the seller, he mentioned that he really doesn't like graded books. He likes to appreciate them in the raw form. And now that I have a book like this in my possession in its raw form, I have to agree there is something that's pretty spectacular of holding a mega key that hasn't been graded, pressed, or cleaned. It's just still as it was, pretty close to when it was off the newsstand. So just a special pickup for this haul in the Giant Size X-Men 1. First appearance of Storm, Colossus, Nightcrawler. You guys all know. Second appearance of Wolverine. So with that, let's go ahead and reveal how much I paid. And I will kind of provide you guys with the thought process of why I paid that amount. So the amount I paid for this entire haul is $4,250. So it's a pretty nice haul. I would say obviously the bulk of it is in this book here. So I would say this book I paid about $3,200, and the other books I paid about $1,000 or so. So I feel like this book here, if it were an 8.0, it would be worth $3,000 automatic. If it were to get an 8.5, a little bit more. If it gets to the 9.0, it would probably be in the 5,000 range. So don't have a lot of experience on grading Giant Size X-Men, but from the pictures, I feel like it has a shot at a 9.0 plus. And that's where I want to kind of open up the comment section to see what you guys think. A lot of you guys in the community are much better graders than I am, especially when it comes to books like this, Giant Size X-Men 1. I haven't had a lot of raw copies, but based on the pictures and based on this video, what do you guys think this would fall in? Did I pay too much? I feel like I had a little bit of anxiety when I paid for it, because that's a lot to pay for a raw book, $3,000 plus. But I feel like even though it's high risk, it can be high reward. So just wanted to give you guys my thought process on what I paid and why I paid it. But I feel overall I did okay. So we'll see eventually if I do send this in, what it comes back. But I'd like to get your guys' opinions on what the grade is. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. It was not too big of a haul, but it was definitely a giant size one. And if you guys enjoyed it, please hit the like button. And if you guys are new here, go and hit the subscribe button on your way out. And with that, guys, I want to thank you for joining me here on Comics with Bonix. And as always, I want to encourage you to collect your passion. We'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.